Hey guys, it's Morgan and I am back with another progress update. Today is January the 27th. I'm doing this video a little bit later than I wanted to, but that's okay. I just wanted to get it out, share my progress, and just document where I am. Last week when I was looking at my weight loss, I was thinking I only lost 2 pounds. But now that I think about it, I'm kind of thinking 2 pounds is probably, for a week, what is actually healthy weight loss for most people. And that's actually pretty good. Even though I remember like on Monday, I was like, I only lost 2.2 pounds or something along those lines. But now that it's Friday and I'm looking back on it, I'm like, okay, I can live with that. 2 pounds down last week. So last week wasn't a substantial loss. I think the week before that I lost like 4.4 pounds. So it's been kind of trickling down. I'm not losing weight as rapidly because the first amount of weight was essentially water weight. So now it's getting into the normal ranges. And this week I have legit been teetering. I've been staying right between 329 and 326, and it's been highly annoying. This morning I was on the scale at 327. I'm not really happy with that. I have been doing what I think is the right thing to do, and I'll share a little bit about that. But yes, I've been sticking to keto. I am completely low carb. Am I eating too many calories? Is that why the scale is not reflecting it? Maybe. I have not been ingesting any sugar at all. I haven't been eating any carbs. I've been eating carbs in the form of vegetables, and I have eaten some low carb tortillas this week. I have not eaten anything. I have not had a cheat. I have not gone to the movies. I have not had popcorn. I have not had any cheat days. I've had none. So I'm very proud of myself. Part of me is like, the number should reflect that, but I can't really dictate what happens inside of my body. I can only control what goes in my mouth. There might be other things coming into play. Like I said, I have lost a significant amount of weight for a month. So perhaps there's just a lot going on inside of me that I really just don't know. I know I've done a lot of damage to my body the way I have been eating before January. So all of this stuff is going on inside of me, and I don't really know exactly why the scale didn't show that. Maybe for some reason I'm retaining a little water. Maybe I will drop like 5 pounds next week. Who knows? Now, as you know, if you've seen other videos, I don't have a weighed and measured meal plan at the moment. I don't really have a meal plan at the moment. So let's talk about what I'm going to change for this week, because I don't want any weeks to pass where I lose nothing. Like, I just legit cannot afford that. I don't want to do that. I really want to take advantage of my time and make every single day count. Like, I'm very on board with this. Like I said, like I feel a lot of urgency. I just want to make it count. I've been kind of talking about this in a couple of previous videos, saying I was going to do this, but I'm going to start tracking my food intake. I didn't do it in early January because I was more concerned with cutting the sugar and changing the way I ate. But now I just really feel like I need to get a grip on my quantity, my portions, and first of all, I want to do it just so I know where I stand. I've been tracking for the last few days, and there were definitely days when I thought I had eaten too much because it was a savory kind of thing. There was one day when I made 2 very thin beef patties and I made 2 fried eggs, and I stacked them, and for some reason in my head I thought like, wow, there's probably like 1,000 calories, and I'm done eating for the day except for a couple little, like a coffee. You know, I thought that was my only meal for the day, but it was a day when I started tracking and I was like, wow, if I ate like that every day, I would seriously only be eating like 520 calories per day. So it's good to track just to kind of know where you stand. So that's one thing I'm doing this week. I'm gonna start tracking. I'm gonna be more strict. I'm gonna weigh, I'm gonna measure. So that is going down this week. So this week is kind of like my adjustment week, where there has been a couple of days where I kind of like was in bed at night like trying to, you know, measure in my head what I ate, because it takes me a little while to get in the habit. So this week is kind of my play around with it and figure out what I'm doing, and that means that by February 1st I will be doing it consistently. I'm still doing it now. I've done it for 3 days, but I think I've done it for like 5 days maybe. I don't remember. I think I kind of messed around with it, downloaded it, and gave myself a couple of days to kind of figure it out and mess around with it. So anyways, I'm starting to get a little stricter tracking, weighing my food, and blah blah. If you want to follow me on my Fitness Pal, the link is in the comments also, or not really a link, but like my username on there, so you can actually follow me if you want to and see what I ate, because I am gonna start logging it religiously. Another thing I'm doing is I'm just trying to stay accountable as far as my behaviors around food, and which is another reason why I want to start tracking. I definitely still have some of those like addictive food behaviors. One thing I've started to do, and I'm cutting it, like I'm not gonna start it, but what I'm doing is if I'm really hungry at night, I've been eating some peanut butter, and I've been eating it with a spoon while I watch TV in bed at night. And I'm like, no, this is using it as comfort. And even though it's within my macros, even though it's not that unhealthy, and you know, you can eat a small amount of peanut butter and still be on keto, like a tablespoon or so, and it's natural, so it doesn't have like the added sugar. But I can see that that's a problem already, so I'm really trying to be aware of my behaviors around food. So peanut butter may be a problem food, but then again, it may not be a problem food. It might just be the behavior, and I don't want to start eating in my bed. Like, I've never been one of those people who eats in my bed, and I definitely do not want to start now. I might be removing peanut butter. We'll see. Another thing that I'm definitely going to remove is this Coke Zero. I have been drinking Coke Zero for January. I don't drink it every single day. I don't drink a significant amount of Coke Zero, but I am gonna cut it. I'm going to actually order that book about aspartame. I've been wanting to read it. So there is a book about aspartame. I will get it and I will show it to you, but I'm going to cut out Coke Zero. Will I never drink it again? IDK. Maybe I will keep it as a very rare treat, but I do suspect that is causing me a stall because I haven't been doing anything else, and I don't know why. I just feel like it's probably causing a stall. I ate it a couple of times. I had it a couple times this week. I think I bought a 6-pack of the 20-ounce bottles, not this week, but last week, so for 2 weeks. So I've used 5 of them. And also, in addition to that, I had Coke Zero tonight. We went out to dinner for the first time in forever. We went out to eat. It was at Chipotle, and I had the salad. I can tell you exactly what I had. I had the salad with double chicken, and then I had cheese, sour cream, tomatoes, which I know have carbs, but it was the only thing I ate all day. And I didn't have any corn, I didn't have any rice, I didn't have any beans. I had green salsa, I had avocado or guac. I did not have the queso. So I know I stayed under calories. I will talk about that too, like what is my calorie allotment. And I know that I stayed under carbs because the only other thing I had today was I did have a Starbucks with my regular keto coffee, which is not bulletproof coffee, it's just regular iced coffee with no classic. I said this before too, but what I order is iced coffee, no classic, with a splash of heavy whipping cream, which I am assuming it's no more than a quarter of a cup, which has a lot of calories, but it's essentially 0 carbs, maybe a couple grams. And then I have the whole thing blended. I add some of my pure sweetener, which is erythritol. I do not count sugar alcohols in my carb intake, and then it's also organic stevia. It's 0 glycemic index, and it is 0 carbs and 0 calories. So that's what I had. A couple of foods I will be adding, because I just mentioned what foods I'm going to be removing, which possibly peanut butter and definitely Coke Zero. What I will be adding is I am going to start incorporating a little bit of probiotic, low carb, like Faye, like a yogurt, and possibly even cottage cheese, because it's just, I just want some, and I think I can add it in and like keep my carb count down. So I'm going to be doing that. So I wanted to talk to you about how I calculated my macros and what I'm using for a tracking app. So I already had my FitnessPal. I already used it last year. So for some reason my goals changed. So my carb and protein goals, my fat goals, all that changed. So I had to go in and reset it, and it's really easy. You just go, I'm not gonna give you like a tutorial. I actually just went on Facebook and found it, but it's really easy. All you do is you just go to, I know you can't see it, but I just went to, that's gonna be legit impossible to see, but I just went to more, which is down here in the corner, went to goals, and then went to calorie and macronutrient goals, and then you can just change in the calories you want, because it calculates your deficit for you based on your weight, your BMI, and when I calculated it, my calorie count was still something around like 17 or 1800 calories. So I actually lowered my calorie goal down to 1500, and I know that the 17 or 1800 calories, I would still lose 2 pounds a week, but I did it down to 15, which would bring it more to like a 30% deficit. Actually, let's see, no, 30% would be 1658, because I have my handy dandy notes. So that's 1658. So slightly under that, which would be like a 35% deficit, which is quite a bit. And it's not necessarily like what they say, like, you know, the standard American diet. It's not like healthy, it's a little bit fast, but we're gonna put it there and see how it goes. And if I do need to raise it up, I can, but this is what I'm committing to now. The standard keto macros are 5%. Hold on, I gotta let my cat in. Cassie? Was it you, Lola, or was that Cassie? Cassie! Hey girl! I was calling at you. I didn't forget you. I came outside looking for you. Okay. I was just outside looking for her and she came in yet. It makes me nervous when she's outside. So anyways, where was I? So the standard macros for keto is 5% carb, 20% protein, and 75% fat. So like I said, you just go to MyFitnessPal, go to more, which is on the bottom right hand side over here, and just go down to goals, and then go to where it says nutrition goals, go to calorie and macronutrient goals, and you can just click in and set your calorie goal, your carbohydrate, protein, and fat goals. So I actually went on ketoconnect.net and I used their macro calculator, and it's a pretty good little website. I mean, everybody knows what Keto Connect is. If you don't, they're pretty good. They have like a Facebook group, a lot of good recipes. They have the calculator. So I entered in my I think you need to know, I know you need to know your weight. I know that you need to know your height, obviously, but I'm trying to remember whether or not you need to know your BMI. If you do, you can just easily look a BMI calculator up. If you look up like different BMI calculators, your BMIs might kind of just be slightly different on each one, but it will just be by like a fraction of a point or a point or two. And I don't really think that that is going to matter. It's a general idea. It's not like, if it's not way off, you know, by like 10 or more points, you should be good. So on the BMI, because I did calculate my BMI, so I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, you need to know your BMI for this macro calculator. If you want to know my BMI, I actually calculated it for 3 weights. When I started my diet, or not really diet, but lifestyle change, my weight was 344.4 and my BMI was 55.6. So I will never forget that, 55.6 BMI. That's absolutely hideous. And then at 330 pounds, my BMI was 53.3, and at 327 pounds, it's 52.8. So when I entered in all of that information, I just had to enter in my BMI, which was 52.8, and a weight of 327 pounds. So when I did the macro calculator on ketoconnect.com, it was slightly different than what the normal keto is, and what it said for me was essentially, and I'm kind of like rounding up and down to equal 100 because like 4.82. So my carbs is 5%, which is the same, but it's recommending protein of 30% and fat of 65%. So I don't know if I should use the macro calculator or if I should use the normal keto percentages, but I think I'm just going to use the macro calculator one. It'll give me a little bit more protein wiggle room and a little bit less fat. So I don't know, we'll just see. My calories are 1500, so that also is just a trial. So yeah. Another thing that I will say that I learned this week, and I was talking to my husband about it, is not only the Coke Zero thing, but another thing that happened this week that also could maybe cause a stall, or you know, whatever's going on with me, is since January 1 we have been cooking. When I said we, I mean me. He does the bacon. Whenever we cook bacon, my husband does the bacon because he's really good at cooking bacon. This week we went a few days where we were just not cooking. We had a lot of stuff going on, and we were not cooking. I definitely stayed keto. So when I cook a meal with a protein and a vegetable, which is essentially all I eat for dinner, my appetite is way more controlled and I just feel a lot more satiated. I'm not starving. I'm not eating late at night. So that's good. So my diet update, I need to get down to 321.2. So I have essentially 6 more pounds to lose. So no more Coke Zeros, definitely cooking every day, definitely staying on it, and I know I can do this. So that is the plan. So it is 6 pounds or 5 pounds, 5 or 6 pounds. I'm thinking more close to 5. So hopefully I will make this diet, but I am hoping and praying, because let me talk about some non-scale victories. Even though the scale did not go down, I will say that I am feeling a little bit looser in my clothes. I have a bunch of these nighties. They're a little bit looser. They were just feeling like super snug. So those are looser. Another non-scale victory. Tonight we went to a bike show and we were walking around. And just so in case you haven't seen, I have mentioned before, like, I don't have any like mobility issues. I can walk just fine and I'm good. But when we went to the Biltmore for Christmas, I was eating like crap. We were eating a lot of junk, a lot of sweets. And it was it was a huge tour. It's a huge house. I think it's like 17,000 square feet. There's a lot of walking and a lot of standing. I think we did like 2.5, 3 hours to tour the whole thing without a break. So I definitely was feeling that. Like I said, I have no problem walking, but being that heavy, that was one of the first times that I really felt like winded. Like I was just so over it. So today we went to the bike show, or tonight we went to a bike show, and I was absolutely fine walking around. I don't think I could do like 10 miles at Disney World. I can't really say it. What I was gonna say, I can't really say it. I might reveal too much. Have I been on the treadmill? Yes, I've been on the treadmill this week. I think only one time, so that's not great. But I am gonna get my butt back in the gym. I talked in my last video, so me and hubby are definitely getting back into the gym. It's taking me a little bit longer. I did the same thing before. I'm a little petrified of it because I'm still 327 pounds, which is close to 330, which is very big, and it's very uncomfortable to exercise. So I was thinking getting under 300, but I'm not. I'm just gonna take my 327 pound behind into the gym, and I'm just gonna do it. So that is also coming up. So hopefully when I make my next video, I can tell you. I also will do some videos and some clips of me working out, maybe. I mean, I'm not looking forward to that. I don't like being on camera looking like that, but whatever. Also, my last thing I want to talk about, my last non-scale victory. When I first started keto, just in January, at the beginning of January, after about 5 or 6 days of getting on it, I felt a little emotional, almost like kind of PMS, and I was just kind of like a little crybaby a little bit. Like I was just a little bit touchy, and so I kind of attributed that to not PMS, but maybe like a little bit of like serotonin or something like that was going on, just with cutting out all those sweets and getting all that toxic sugar out. Maybe I had to find like my new normal, and I definitely feel a lot better. You just get all those carbs out. If I'm eating carbs, I literally am like all over the place, and I'm whiny when I don't eat. I get hangry. I haven't had that. I have had some days when I'm really hungry and some days when I'm not hungry at all. So I have experienced that. But I'm going to do a lot more controlling what I eat and tracking what I eat. So we'll see how that does. Like I said, I still feel like I'm playing with the food a little bit. Even today, when we were at the bike show, I knew we were gonna go to Chipotle, so I was very excited to go to Chipotle, and I was kind of thinking about it, like I can't wait to get done, I just wanna go to Chipotle. Then again, I hadn't eaten all day, so that's where it kind of like comes into play, where I'm like, am I just supposed to be hungry right now? Anybody in their right mind would be hungry, or am I just way too excited to eat? Let me just end this whole thing by saying one more thing. I do not know what I'm doing. Okay, I want to make that perfectly clear. I do not have it all figured out. I do not have the answers. This is my journey to figure it out. I think that there's a lot of resources out there and a lot of like gurus and stuff like that. That's not me, but everybody is doing something different out here to lose weight, and that's okay, because we have to do what's right for us, what's right for our body. And if you are watching this, then thank you so much for going on this journey with me. It means everything to me, and it's such an inspiration to like see your comments and just people reaching out or like direct messaging me. Like, I really appreciate it. But yeah, I do not have all the answers. This is a figure it out as you go kind of journey, and just thank you for trudging along with me down this path. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you guys. Bye.